Good evening. Let's call this special meeting of the Champaign County Board to order. Roll call, please.
Clemens. Clifford. Coert. Cruz. Esri.
Here.
Furtado. Goss.
Here.
Harper.
Here.
Hartke. King. Marsh. McGuire. Mitchell. Patterson.
Here.
Petrie.
Present.
Rector. Rosales.
Here.
Storr. Summers. Tinsley.
Present.
Anderson. Weibel.
Present. Do we have a quorum? Will the clerk please read the notice of the meeting?
Notice is hereby given that a special meeting of the County Board, Champaign County, Illinois, will convene on March 13th, 2018 at 6 p.m. in the Lyle Shields Meeting Room, Brookings Administrative Center, 1776 East Washington Street in Urbana, Illinois, in said county for the purpose of approval of lease between Champaign County and Rosecrans, Inc., and any other business pending before the board, which said meeting shall continue in session from day to day until the completion of said business.
Thank you. Seek approval of the agenda and the addenda. Moved by Mr. Goss, second by Ms. Petrie. Discussion. See none. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Public participation. Is there any public participation at this time? See none. Let's go on to the first item. I want to announce that we will not be having any action on this item tonight because it's not ready. I would ask that Mr. Van Anderson and Barb Mann, could they come up to the microphone and explain the situation for all of us, please?
We had initially thought that we would have a lease to present to you tonight. We and still are hoping that we will have a lease substantially in the form that you received. But we received a letter from IDPH yesterday. The nursing home received it yesterday, that there was another step in the process that we need to do in order to have IDPH approval. We had understood that the lease is contingent upon that approval. So there was never going to be an instance where we engaged in this relationship without IDPH approval. But we had understood that that was proceeding along normally and was just a matter of a few final signatures and before it was approved, and that would likely happen in the next couple of weeks. Today we got a letter. Our attorneys at Polsinelli have been in contact with IDPH. They weren't going to be able to iron it out today yet, and so it just didn't seem appropriate to be bringing it to you until we had a clearer understanding from IDPH about whether or not there were more things to do before it would be approved.
Are you willing to take questions from the board?
Sure.
Any questions from the board at this time? Ms. Petrie.
Could you please elaborate on what are some of the issues that need to be ironed out before we can take a vote on this?
Well, I think it's primarily IDPH approval. Yeah, they in their letter they seem to be they seem to be confused about whether we were running this facility, this treatment facility, or we were leasing it. So there were even from reading the letter, you could see that they didn't quite understand what it was we were attempting to do. The other thing is that the letter said that we may we have licenses for 243 beds. Those would not be affected, but the Medicare or Medicaid certification could potentially be affected. We're working on that. That's not a big issue because we're not close to capacity anyway, but we'll have to find out more about that and see if that's in part based on their misunderstanding of what we're doing.
A couple of follow-ups. So on the Medicaid beds, is there any chance that we would lose some of those certified Medicaid beds? That's question one. And question two is in their maybe misunderstanding as to whether the nursing home was running the treatment center or it was an independent agency running the treatment center. Does that affect what I heard at the Board of Directors meeting last evening about the services that would be provided to the treatment center via the personnel in the nursing home, the food, the laundry, and cleaning or, you know, things like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would be, that would change at all. As to the Medicare and Medicaid certification, I mean, that's the thing that we're working through at this point. My understanding is that even those things are not like licenses. These can come and go, and you can drop some or pick some up pretty easily. So we'll have to find out if that's something that we have to do. And that would be something you'd want to consider, of course. But these aren't, we just don't know yet, I guess. They've raised the issue about Medicare and Medicaid certificates, and we just don't know yet exactly what that means that they'd want us to do.
One last question. You won't know the answer to this, I know that, but I'd like to posit it that you might ask this question of IDPH, and that is the factor that, according to their website, Champaign County is 53 beds overbedded in certification of Medicaid beds. Will that have any effect in how they view whatever is happening within the confines of our nursing home?
Yeah, I don't know. And
No, I know you don't. That's
yeah, and I don't know if they're saying they're overbedded in terms of licenses or in terms of Medicare and Medicaid certificates, and those are different things.
What my understanding, mind you, is that it says that Champaign County, based on their needs assessment up to 2020, is 53 certified Medicaid beds, or the terminology is overbedded,
Yeah,
for want of another word.
right.
Okay.
Well, we can, I don't know.
Any other questions? Mr. Harper?
With all this information, are the broker and potential buyer up to date? I mean, are they being informed? I mean, they responded to an RFP with a 243-bed facility and licenses.
I know Van had a call or had scheduled today. I don't know if he got to it, though.
Yeah, we're working with the broker. Actually, the attorney working on our behalf on the lease spoke to a broker, not the broker, but the company that put in the letter of intent for the RFP. He spoke to them today, and so they're aware of what's happening with this. But again, the important thing that Barb said, that we have a 243-bed licensed bed facility, and that wasn't in question with this Medicare, Medicaid certified beds. Those are two completely separate issues.
Any other questions? Okay, well, obviously this item will be on the agenda 2 weeks from now. Thank you very much. Seeing there's no other business, we're adjourned and Sasha can go home early.